right, so welcome back to the Baswell GA Sports Edition. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Baswell GA, and also on all social media platforms. Go and follow us there. It's Baswell GH, and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all there, and also on YouTube. It's Baswell GH. Hit the subscribe channel, and you can enjoy more from us. But then the Premier League is going to start 13th of August. Arsenal against Brentford, and then Saturday against Fulham suit. But if you look at the business that Arsenal has done, Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, they haven't done any business yet. Yes, indeed, they've signed a free agent goalkeeper, but then United, Liverpool, Konate coming in for them. Van Dijk is coming as a new player for them. Let me start off from you, Nicholas. Where do you see this Premier League season going?
It's going to be interesting. It depends on. United have done brilliant business in the window. It's dependent on what Stephens and Josiah said that they can only manage these superstars and make a team out of them. If it was another coach coaching United, like a world-class coach, I'll say United are actually the favourites for me because the team looks balanced to me. You can never write off Man City and Pep is there.
Yeah.
So, with the Ole situation, I'll still pick Man City as a favourite. We don't know what form Van Dijk is going to come with. People are saying in preseason, the other game, he was going to sit on the ground. But I never take preseason games seriously. It's for fitness, to build up match fitness. So it depends. It's 50-50 in that regard. They have a brilliant guy they signed in
Konate.
But he's also an injury-prone guy.
Really?
Yeah. Allegedly, he spent a lot of time injured. He's tall, he's fast. He's just like Van Dijk, actually. He's good on the ball. He can even play right back sometimes when it's needed. So I think Liverpool have also done. They need to replace Ronaldo, which I'm surprised they haven't. I think there's a battle between United and Liverpool for Saul Niguez at the moment.
But if you look at Liverpool's team in midfield, they have Oxlade-Chamberlain, they have Henderson, they have Fabinho, they have Curtis Jones, they have Thiago Cantara.
When you take Henderson and Fabinho aside, the other guys are not of the quality of Ronaldo.
No, absolutely.
Ronaldo is one guy I think was very underrated for the job he was doing at Liverpool. He was a guy keeping the team in balance. Fabinho was a defensive midfielder along with Henderson probably. But Ronaldo was a box-to-box guy. He was a guy linking the midfield to the attack. And people really underrated him. When he went to the Euros, he was being played in a 10th position. And everyone saw how good he was. He can actually play in that position and excel there. I think PSG have gotten a gem. With Verratti, with him, with either panelist, Gay, Danilo.
But they've also had. I don't know what the problem Paris Saint-Germain are having now, because in midfield, even in the goalkeeping department, after they sold Areola on loan to West Ham, they have 8 goalkeepers, and in midfield they added Jorginho Wijnaldum in there. They have Paredes, they have Verratti, they have Wijnaldum, they have
look
Diallo.
This coming season, I see
Danilo.
PSG going to the final of the Champions League. Mark my words. With Sergio Ramos, Wijnaldum, Donnarumma in the post, you have Neymar and Mbappe obviously.
It looks like
unless they don't come out.
Real Madrid are looking to do some business and snap Kylian Mbappe. Tell you what.
Madrid doesn't have the money.
Tell you what. Mbappe didn't travel with the team to go play their League One. Their Super Cup game. But then he came. Even he reported earlier than Kipembe and the rest. But they are on the bus. But he is not there.
I feel
and he still doesn't want to sign a new contract. And what Perez is saying is that they are funding money to sign Mbappe.
Which means, considering Madrid and Barca's financial situation, I don't think Madrid can sign him this season. So it's next season, if anything. So Mbappe will be there for at least one more season. That's how I see it. And that's why I see the PSG too.
And if he doesn't sign the contract, he'll be free agent.
It happens. Bigger players are going for free. So.
All right, Duncan, what do you see Chelsea becoming this season? They haven't really done any serious business. But
I think it's been a while since we took the leagues when Conte made us to win the title. So this season, I don't expect so much. But I'm just looking forward to getting it.
Can you defend your Champions League title?
If you get Haaland, what do you expect?
I would definitely expect it.
That's if you have Haaland. Of course. If you don't have Haaland, you can. But are you going to defend the Champions League?
Of course I can. I for the Champions League, I don't know.
You don't see anybody knocking you out.
Even with Haaland, I don't think they can defend the Champions League. Even with Haaland,
Even
you know how
with
I got
Haaland, if I have Haaland and I have Koundé, I will take the Champions League.
I think making the top 4 this season will be a wonderful achievement.
Top 4, just top 4.
Top 4.
A team that is not playing nothing in
No,
Europe
but you look at your
next
playing
season.
squad, you don't win the league with the likes of Smith Rowe. He's a good player. Next 2-3 seasons, he's probably going to be one of the best playmakers in the Premier League. I hope he gets to the level of someone like David Silva.
But you can win something. You can win some points with Smith Rowe in your fantasy Premier League.
I think so. He's going to be a definite star. Let's see how the transfer window goes. But that one really affects you. I think Arsenal, we should sometimes when you aim for too much, it kills.
Yeah.
When you start the season and you're not doing well, it kills the momentum. You can't even achieve the minimum. And I think the minimum we have to go for is a top 4. The maximum has to be the top.
Let me ask you this final question. How or where do you put Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang this season?
He's still the top guy. He's still the top striker. You can't doubt someone who scored 25 plus goals for most of the last decade every season. He had issues with his mom getting COVID. Yeah, when people even saying that his wife is leaving, that's why he was having personal problems. So the truth came out. He had that bout of serious malaria, that high level malaria that he got. And there were issues with Arsenal, aside that.
But was he having issues with the coach, Arteta?
I don't think so. Arteta made it clear. One thing, I don't like Arteta as a person. I don't think he's a guy, just like Solskjaer, I don't think he's a guy for Manchester United. I don't think Arteta is a guy to take Arsenal forward, even if you get the top players in the world. This one thing I like about Arteta is he's very honest and frank. He said that Aubameyang didn't play that game against Spurs because he was late.
At training.
And that's it. That's where it ends. At least he came out to say it. Another coach would have been diplomatic, At least, I don't know if it's naivety on the side being a young manager. But at least he was honest with that. I don't think there's a general issue. I mean, I follow Arsenal that much. There's nothing to say that Aubameyang is a negative influence in the dressing room or anything. You see Arteta, how he deals with people who he feels are negative influences. He doesn't let them stay. Ozil is a world-class player. He was a top earner at Arsenal. He didn't let him play 1 minute.
Ozil's issue was quite different.
Yeah,
that was quite political.
Listen, if you go in depth into the club,
it was quite political.
I'm coming. If you go in depth into the club, everyone who sided with Ozil against Arteta has been so. Guendouzi, even when he left, it's not because of that thing that I'm
I think
writing.
Guendouzi had his own issues. He had his own personal disciplinary issues.
Media,
I think
trust me.
Ozil's saga started when he made some comments about.
But
It happens. It
You know the
happens.
funny
It
thing?
happens sometimes.
I always dispute that a bit because that comment, when he made that comment about the Uyghurs in China, Ljungberg was the coach. He didn't play that match, but the next match he played. Arteta came in and before the lockdown started Ozil every single match until 6 or 7 games.
If we are to delve deeper into such instances, it has happened in the NBA with Houston Rockets. When a player, it happens sometimes.
If that thing was
the
an issue,
aftermath
Arteta
brings a
would have
lot
started
of
at
things
that
to
point.
talk about. So maybe that's something we can talk about
But he
later.
played
with
it till the
Ozil-
lockdown. It's just after the lockdown he didn't play. But before the lockdown, every single match Ozil started. He didn't even just come from the bench. He started every single match. So I feel fine. That might be one of the issues. I think it's been shelved. It's not even blown out of proportion. I think there are things in the dressing room. There are people who are siding him against Arteta, and that one rather blew out of proportion. And Arteta was like, "Look, I'm the boss here." He feels like he's a young manager, so he has to put his foot down. That's why what I feel that sometimes he overdoes it. Because there's some matches that you can see that we needed a number 10 in the Arsenal system. That when Smith Rowe came in, you can see an improvement. Maybe Ozil doesn't work hard in some games, but a presence of a number 10 will take away, some pressure off Aubameyang and Lacazette. So let me just be clear about this. Aubameyang is going to get at least 20 league goals this season. Again,
I want to find out from
answer
is Lacazette stay.
The thing is, Lacazette is in a similar situation to Mbappe. No age or performance-wise. His contract ends next season. So Arsenal wants to make money off him. At this point in time, the only rumor I'm hearing is Atletico Madrid for £15 million. And now, if Lacazette moves, a massive chain reaction can be settled. Last week, there was word that Lautaro Martinez, there was interest from Arsenal because they want Bellerin. You see, now the transfer is like dominoes. One falls and the other ones will follow. Now, Inter wanted Bellerin, so Arsenal were like, okay, if you want Bellerin, we can use Bellerin and some money and get Lautaro Martinez.
Well, Lautaro has come out to say
he doesn't.
he doesn't
No,
want
he's
to.
actually come out to say yesterday on Stein.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
I felt that he didn't want to come.
Yeah.
Lautaro Martinez has come out to say that if Inter wants to sell him, he doesn't mind moving to the Premier League. So I feel, as an Arsenal fan, sometimes we play too much FIFA, so we think transfers are that easy.
Yeah.
I feel that since Lacazette is like a direct replacement for Lautaro Martinez, and Italian teams are able to get the best out of aging players, why don't we add Bellerin to Lacazette, and if it's 30 million, add it and get one of the top strikers, young strikers in the
He's
world.
only 22 years.
He's
He's won the Copa America as well.
Lautaro Martinez plays as a number 10 sometimes.
I said, for
that's how
Lukaku.
much
So,
for
I mean,
Lukaku,
it's a win-win if we are able to get him. It's a match, he can even drop to 10. It might not even need to sign someone like Odegaard.
Yeah.
Varane, Maguire partnership, Jadon Sancho up front with the Cavani factor up front. Bruno Fernandes, I mean, he's been I mean the face of United. He was absolutely he was. I mean,
You don't judge a player by tournament.
yeah. But then, what do you see Manchester United next season?
Yeah, it all boils down to how good this manager will be, like bringing out the best.
You don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is good? Last season he went unbeaten away from home.
You see, I always say this over the past 3 seasons. Managers like Klopp and Pep have taken the bar too high. That if you're not able to replicate some of these things they do, trust me, you wouldn't get there. Even fighting for top 4 will be very, very hard.
But
We witnessed Liverpool come second with 98 points.
Yeah.
That would have won them the league in about
Only
80%.
one season.
Bar one season where City won the league with 100 points.
Yeah.
That should tell you the kind of benchmark they are setting now. That's the level they've got into. We witnessed City last season win 21 consecutive games. In those games, they shipped in just 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah.
And I don't see Ole doing these things. Trust me.
Why don't you believe in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Ole is a good
I mean,
manager. When it comes to man management, he's
listen,
yeah.
the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, during their reign, or even during City's reign where he chalked 100 points, he didn't go the entire season away from home unbeaten.
Yeah.
Ole has done that.
Yeah,
Are you not giving him some credit?
You can't.
Let me
That's
just chip in one thing for a minute.
Yeah.
That start shows the kind of mentality Ole has as a coach. He's a counter-attacking coach. And teams often counter-attack when they go away from him. It's Manchester United and counter-attacking. This is a big team. You shouldn't rely on counter-attacking as your main tactic. So if a coach at Manchester United is doing superbly with counter-attacking, I think it's a problem.
But Nicholas, that narrative I think will be flawed in a way because United aren't so much of a attacking team.
But when they go away from home,
when they play against the big teams away from home, with the exception of Liverpool and City, who love to keep the ball, that's the only time we set up in that counter-attacking mode. With the exception of those 2 teams, we don't counter-attack. Exactly. Even when we go to the Emirates to play against Arsenal, Chelsea last season we didn't counter-attack. They were sitting back against United. It's only when Ole plays against Pep or Klopp because they love to keep the ball when they are playing at home. And we all know how dangerous playing at home and away from home against these teams can be. So United is not a counter-attacking team, like we said. Even last season we didn't score more than 5 counter-attacking goals. Yes, so that narrative I think is flawed over there. Yeah. So with this team, one thing Ole should come up with is balance. You have a team filled with stars, so much quality from your goalkeeping department to the attack. And I think you have backup at every single position. Number 9, you have Cavani, you can have Martial over there. Right wing, you have Sancho, you can have Greenwood. Dan James is there. Left wing, you have Rashford over there. You have Martial over there. Number 10, you have Dibik, you have Bruno, you have Mata. You come to that central midfield where you can have Pogba, you have Fred, you have McTominay. See, Matic. See, there's look. Just
as
look.
backup.
As
Matic
backup.
as backup is a good backup.
You understand? It's
It's like he
last season. I thought
before
our
the
problem was Lindelof. Sometimes, even though he's good with the ball at his feet, he knows how to pick up
That's
all
what I'm
those
saying, the
long
balance.
passes.
sometimes
No,
throughout the season.
No,
Not sometimes.
not throughout the season. We shouldn't do this now. He was good. Lindelof was good.
Maguire
But I
was
saw at a
was-
point in time, I saw Lindelof. I saw Lindelof.
That's why they were conceding a lot of set pieces.
I-
Because of
Exactly. The way he said,
And the way-
so we've
and-
gotten in, we've brought in what's his name, the
And I
Chelsea,
think you have
the
deployed
Chelsea
the-
coach
Yeah.
to work on our set piece.
Yeah.
Not just that, but looking at Lindelof, he's good. He's very good. But I've seen,
He's good at-
I've
I think
seen,
he's very good.
no, he's
He's
good.
good at
He's
his
good. He's good with the ball.
Yeah.
He's a ball.
He's
He's a ball playing defender.
No.
He's
He's
a
a ball.
right back before,
He's,
so that
yes,
was
he's a ball playing defender who is very, very good with the ball at his feet.
Okay.
He knows how to give,
Okay.
make
Not
those
his overall
long
performance.
passes. No, not just defending. But I'm talking about a player like
On the ball.
Yeah, on the ball. He's good. Maguire is good. Now I think he's attaining that world-class defender status
Getting there.
with time. But I think with Varane by his side, the kind of quality Varane brings to this team,
Experience.
he's just like I can liken him to Van Dijk. The way their physique, the pace, the way they move and all that. I can liken him to Van Dijk, even though the English game is quite tougher. And sometimes when you come, it takes some time for you to settle because it's draining.
Yeah.
It's very, very draining. I quite remember when Jordan the day you signed the first time, the first season he signed for Swansea. Every 60 minutes, I think for 10 games in a row, he was being subbed. Because if you don't have that stamina to stand the weather, we all know in England the weather is quite different as compared to Spain and all that. So I think those are some factors that we should be looking at. But
Okay.
all in all, he's going to be a very, very good
All in all, he's
addition.
going to be
Yeah.
very, very good. But say first, let's talk about Liverpool. They just done one business. They've offloaded Jorginho Ronaldo. They've not replaced him yet. The Van Dijk is coming back, or he's back already. Took off Naby Keita.
Joe Gomez.
Yeah, Joe Gomez has also come back. But if you look at this Liverpool team, their front three, they are ever present. Mohamed Salah, Mane, and Firmino, they are there. But where do you see this Liverpool team going this season?
I think one thing Klopp didn't do too well at the beginning of the previous season was his inability to make a statement signing. You see, when you win the league, and that's where you have to credit a coach like Ferguson. It's always very difficult to motivate the players the following season. And that was what happened to Liverpool the season just went by. You saw how they started the league. These are players who had won the league, a league they had been chasing for so many years.
Won the Champions
Finally,
League in the previous
exactly, they won the Champions League. Finally, they had it. Now, how do you motivate these players
To
to
win
go
again.
fighting for every single ball the next season? You couldn't do it. And that's how come Liverpool stumbled from the beginning. Yes, he brought in a player of high quality in Thiago as the season wore on. For me, I think this season we'll get to see Thiago at his very best in the Premier League.
Okay.
Yes, the season gone by didn't go too well, but this season he'll come up. It's brilliant news for them that Van Dijk is back. Last season, one of the reasons Liverpool were shipping in a lot of goals was because there was no leadership at the back, like my colleague did say. There was no coordination.
And injury prone also settled because they had
so many
they had
But
made
let's not forget the 7 by Aston Villa, Van Dijk.
they had made about 20 plus partnership at the heart of defense last season.
So
Konate signing.
that's why he's gone in for Konate, just so he'll be able to steady the ship at the back. And I'm expecting to see a lot of consistency from Alisson this season as well. I think last season he was a bit hot and
Had his
cold.
personal issues.
So in midfield, like you rightly said, one player they've let go that I think is going to be a huge blow was the one my colleague did mention, Jorginho Wijnaldum. Yes, brilliant chap, and of course he's been hugely underrated because of the kind of work he does. But I still think Liverpool has a lot of quality in midfield in Thiago, Fabinho, and then
Henderson
and Chamberlain, and of course you mentioned Curtis Jones as well, and
as well as Naby Keita.
So I don't think they are
Just
so
a
much
little thing I would say about
disadvantaged in the midfield.
You see, Thiago Alcantara, his style of play and jogging Klopp's pressing system doesn't match. I think there was an issue there. So now that he's had a pre-season with Klopp, let's see if he's going to fit well into the system, because Thiago is a type who likes to control the midfield, hold the game, lift to
Sometimes he
you know what they
delays.
say, how they call him on social media,
Yeah. Sometimes he delays the tempo. He delays the tempo.
So now he's had a full pre-season with Klopp. I feel he will buy into Klopp's philosophy, or Liverpool might play. The midfield might play to suit Alcantara more.
Okay.
And of
And
course,
see the best out of it.
he's played the season just gone by. He's played part of the season.
Exactly.
So he's not to experience the Premier
Exactly.
League. And then the most crucial part, or the most important part of this Liverpool setup,
Is
that's the front
the front three?
Last season,
Mane was a bit off for a longer part of the season.
Yeah.
Salah still remained their go-to person for goals. Firmino again, a lot of question marks.
Defensive
People ask,
number
is he a striker?
Is he a number 10?
False nine?
Central
He's a
defensive
defensive
striker.
number
Central
nine.
defensive striker. CDS.
Bottom line is, Klopp managed to get the best out of him in the season Liverpool won the league.
Yeah.
Last season, we didn't really see much of him. A lot will depend on that front three. Salah, I still believe he's going to be firing from all cylinders. I expect to see Mane step up a bit more. Firmino, sometimes I believe should be a little bit selfish. If he's always going to be looking out for the other two, you realize that last season a lot of teams got to find the antidote for Mane and Salah. So especially on the break, quickly you see that they get numbers to double up on them, and they were very frustrated throughout the season. And that is why I expect Firmino to, come up this season. He needs to take the bull by the horn. He needs to realize that, look, in as much as Klopp has this whole idea about you being the false nine, you trying to locate the wingers as early as possible, sometimes you need to, take the instinctiveness as a striker. That is why you are the one leading the line. And he needs to get goals for Liverpool. Look, if there's any signing again, I feel Liverpool should make, it should be a centre forward.
I think they have.
That is what so many.
No, we are forgetting that Firmino is a Liverpool system. That's one thing. This team is built around Firmino. The seasons when they won the league and the Champions League, he was very, very pivotal. He was very, very important to them because of the way he linked. Yes, but now.
But what's the first saying is that he also has to.
No, but if you are saying he should start banging, if you are saying he should start banging in the goals, it means there'll be a change of system over there.
Anyway.
Exactly.
But
Because he is not
let me
the striker
clarify.
who can give you 20 goals a season.
Let me clarify.
No.
From last
He was a
season,
number 10.
I-
He's a number 10. He's a number 10 in that system.
if you watch this Liverpool setup, how many times do you see a cross coming in, a striker nodding onto the ball? How many times
But
do
he's
you
still
see,
cross.
I'm trying to arrive at
Okay.
something. You see, the way they play up front seems to be one-sided. And it's the same thing Diogo Jota is doing. Liverpool, to some extent, I don't see them having a plan B.
Yeah, exactly. With that one, it's
I
quite.
agree.
Yeah.
That is why I'm because it will get to that time, that stage of the season where you need a plan B.
That is
Because you'll be figured out.
a typical striker, isn't it?
Typical number 9.
A typical number
You
9.
need it.
So that's
I think Jota
And you
has
saw
done.
that- you saw
Jota
that
has done
with-
very good with
He's
his
also a
positioning.
winger.
He's also
A
but
winger who's
his positioning has really helped him.
improved, yeah.
Yes, because
He actually
when he
surprised a lot
finds
of
himself
Yeah.
in the box,
because he just
knows-
hit the ground running when
Yeah, exactly.
when
When he came,
people.
you see,
Before the
Firmino
injury,
loves
he
to
was also
play.
doing very well.
Yeah.
Firmino loves to play outside
I
the
think a
box.
plan B,
He
a plan
doesn't
B
do.
could be playing 4-2-3-1, dropping Firmino to his actual 10,
And that is-
then playing
Then
Mane,
it's
Salah, Jota.
It's
So
if
that plan
Klopp,
B-
if Klopp
He's brave enough
will
to
be,
do that.
will be brave enough, and
Because
if the
he's
players
used
will
to
buy into that
Yeah.
system, if the players will be able to buy into that system,
yeah, but I'm sure that plan B that Sefa is talking about is when they get an out and out striker.
you see, one thing I've noticed about Klopp, he's just like Sarri. They are stubborn managers.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
They
very,
are.
very
They don't want.
They
They
are.
never want to change their system.
They are.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's what happened to him at Dortmund.
Yeah.
He stuck to the same system from time to time. Then it got
So
to a
when
point
it
that
gets bad,
he doesn't know what to do, and it was evident last season that they had to rely on
There was
individual
a
brilliance.
Before.
Yes, look at the goal.
That thing was
What's his
working.
name? Alisson had
Alisson
to
scored
score.
against West Bromwich Albion.
Exactly. It got to a point they had to
Miracles.
rely on
miracles.
individual brilliance, and he's not like Pep. Pep is that dynamic manager. You see, he loses the league in one season. He sits down, tries to come up with something. And look at last season. He played without a striker for majority of the season.
Yeah.
And that's what he's about to do again if he fails to get Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
It looks like he'll be going in with that same
And
system
then he
again.
might play Jack Grealish there.
Yeah, it could be.
That will be
It
far
could
away
be.
for them.
Yeah.
It's just going to be an extraordinary season for them.
Great.
Because that's the difference between Klopp and
Okay.
Pep. Yeah.
All right, great. But save us before we leave. I mean, your top four in the Premier League.
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think City will still start as favourites.
Okay.
I think City, to some extent, I'll still tip City to win it. I still think Manchester United will fall short because of Ole.
So United will be in second place,
United will be in second place.
third place,
Liverpool,
fourth place.
Chelsea.
Wow. Duncan, top four.
For me,
For
I,
first.
for me, to be honest with you, I think I feel Liverpool will do something this season. I don't know. I have that feeling. And I
So
feel,
they can win the league.
of course,
So they'll be on top.
yes.
Second.
And maybe probably Tuchel will also follow.
So
I'm just hoping.
okay. So
Because
Chelsea
of,
second, and third.
The third, I take Spurs.
Spurs
Because of
third.
whom, yeah.
Okay.
I take
And
them
fourth. So Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs.
and
Then probably
Arsenal.
for me, I write Arsenal out.
So who do you put? So who do you put at fourth?
The thing is because of Nuno.
Okay. So who do you put at fourth?
Maybe I'll go in for United.
United fourth. So
City- City wins
Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, United.
United. So
Wow.
so City, Europa.
I said City will win the league.
You said City will win it.
They-
No, you said Liverpool.
Liverpool
Liverpool win the league. Chelsea
I
second.
think City will be at the third position. Then
Third.
Spurs.
Spurs fourth.
Behind Chelsea.
Liverpool,
Yeah, so
Chelsea.
So United, Arsenal, not in the top.
All right. So
Arsenal-
Liverpool,
Arsenal
Chelsea.
conference.
Yeah. So Liverpool, Chelsea, City, and Tottenham Hotspur fourth.
Ask me
Duncan.
last.
And then safers have got Man City, Man United, Liverpool,
Yeah.
and Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then you,
Yeah, I'm going for the two Manchester clubs, first and second. I don't know
who will be on
who
top?
will be on top.
Whether
but I
United
know
or City,
they are
whether
going to
City
dominate
or Chelsea
this time
or,
around
or
again,
United.
the two Manchester
So
clubs.
third,
Liverpool will come.
Liverpool
Then
come third.
The London clubs can battle it out for fourth.
London clubs can battle out for fourth place. Okay, so yeah, obviously we know Arsenal is on fourth position. So first,
So City winning,
City winning,
United in second,
United is second,
Chelsea third,
Chelsea third,
glory,
Arsenal fourth. All right, so
Liverpool out of the top four.
Liverpool out of the top four. That would be a very huge one. But then just some seconds in the Spanish Premier League. I'm sure we just have to pick out who you think this season will be better for. And I'm starting with Forsen.
As in who will win the league.
Yeah.
With the Spanish clubs, give me some time. Let the transfer window end because Perez can do some magic.
Okay.
But with the problems Barca is facing, I feel psychologically it's going to affect the team. And Atletico Madrid is quietly doing their stuff. So, I mean, let's go. I will go for Simeone again.
Simeone
But
again.
I want to still see what Real Madrid will do on the match.
Okay. So La Liga.
For me, for Madrid, I don't think they even get in the battle will solve the problem because of the
gap in the defense.
So for me, but this season I take Barcelona
It's a
because
Barcelona.
of the players they have.
It's a Barcelona.
And they've not been able to
I don't like them
yet.
all though, but
I know you don't like that. I know you really hate
able
them.
to register them.
You really
I know,
you really hate them. I know you don't like Barcelona,
I don't
but
like
say
them, but I have no option.
okay. All right. Say first. Obviously, we're going to see Barcelona winning.
When Messi is in this kind of mood,
Okay.
In the mood where he's won the
Finally won
Copa,
the national.
he's the Copa America.
If you monitored his body language and everything after the Copa, you could see clearly that this is someone
Because when I saw one of
He's-
his
he's in the mood.
he's really having
for that
fun.
reason. For that reason, I'm going to tip Barcelona.
He'll be animated again.
Not because of the players you signed, but for Messi.
Yeah.
For that reason. And
I feel
think-
Eric Garcia will help Barcelona. I don't know, for some funny reason, I just feel he's going to complement Piqué a lot. He's Spanish, of course, too. So, I mean, he's like a starter in the Spanish team now.
Yeah.
And then Atletico Madrid look a more complete team now. And of course, there are no hula balloons around the team, with the exception of the Saúl Niguez issue. They look more stable.
They even have
So I think Atletico Madrid
Yeah.
was
The Paul.
You
The
saw
Paul
his
signing.
assist.
That the
His
Paul
assist.
signing.
Did you see his assist
Yeah, in the Copa
final?
America.
Brilliant.
That the Paul signing could prove to be
But he's
something.
flopped at Valencia before, so let's see.
But nobody's actually talking about Sevilla. They've also done an incredible business,
They
and
were-
they're a team that I mean,
With Lamela.
people don't talk about them.
Lamela is not consistent.
No.
Lamela is never consistent.
He's not
The
consistent.
Sevilla,
but the Sevilla team
in
as a
itself
whole.
is not even consistent. They look like Villarreal, Valencia. Sometimes that's
Yeah.
once a while they make the push.
They might
get
make
there.
the top four.
They come
but
back
they-
again.
If you say
They
top
are
four,
not, yes.
Yes, but
to me, the
title
ultimate-
contenders.
They are not. They are not.
It's
Even
not-
last season
But they
they
came
gave a
close.
shot.
Yeah.
They came very close.
came
But
close.
then later they
Because
lost
look
some-
at the point.
they lost some
You
games.
look at the point difference. It was
more
slim.
about their selling club. So
Exactly.
Yeah, for the
so
business.
by the time maybe the season and they can.
I
let
mean,
any
Brian
of
Gill
their
is one of their
superstars-
top talents.
Yeah.
They sent him out for a very inconsistent player. Lamela, I've never rated that guy.
No, no,
honestly.
No, but
He's
because
more
Aside
about
that brilliant goal he scored against Arsenal, I don't see anything I can
More, but he's
remember
not
him by,
disciplined.
honestly.
yeah, he's
very
indisciplined. Yeah,
In that
he's
game,
very,
he got a red
he's,
card.
yeah, he's very indisciplined. He's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
indisciplined. But who do you tip to carry the season
No,
in the Spanish
I'll
league?
have to still stick by Simeone.
Simeone.
Yeah, they have. You see, one thing he mentioned that he sees PSG. I want to sway a bit. Sees PSG making the final this season. But I'm saying unless they don't meet Atletico
Atletico Madrid.
in the knockout
He'll
stage,
find a way to
because
beat them.
that guy will always find a way to win such matchups. And you see, his team is balanced. That's one thing I like about this.
They said it's Cristiano Ronaldo that's denied.
He is the only
Atletico
one.
Madrid.
So unless Atletico is playing against Ronaldo, then you know Ronaldo.
I love that.
Yeah. But any other team on any other day. See, last season this guy Tuchel did very, very well, and he deserves
And
credit.
because I learned, they said
what he did.
in the first league, he wanted the draw.
Because
he knew when he
it
comes
will
back,
be very, very tough. Yeah. And this season with what he said about Messi.
Champions League in the Stamford Bridge second leg against, like the way they dominated Atletico.
It was shocking.
They added. It was a factor of so many things.
Yeah.
That game.
Yeah.
It was a factor of so many things. But like he's saying, Messi is in the mood, and you can count the number of league titles Barcelona have won in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Messi has always been there to win the league for them.
As
That
for
makes the
Pichichi, you
league.
win the Pichichi.
The league. Messi makes the league, winning the league, very easy for
That's
any
why La
manager.
Liga clubs were prepared.
You understand?
to
Any
bring
manager, when you come in, you
help
only have
Barca
to
keep
do.
Messi in the
You only have to do just.
He's
You,
the face of
you don't
La
have to
Liga.
put in a lot
Even
because
at his
Messi
age.
is there to save you. That's the difference between Barcelona and Madrid winning the league.
Okay.
Any season Madrid wins the league, they have to toil. They have to go through a lot.
Yeah.
But if Barcelona have to win the league, they just win the league.
All right.
So simple. Yeah.
All right. So they had it from my guys in the studio. Yeah, they are tipping. Some are tipping Atletico Madrid to go for it again. Some are also tipping Barcelona. Obviously, Silvas, who is a Barcelona fan, will tip Barcelona to win. And yeah, Duncan is also tipping Barcelona to win for some funny reasons. A Chelsea fan is saying Barcelona should win the league title. But then if you look at what they are talking about in the English Premier League, they are top four. You'll be surprised at what Duncan is saying, that Liverpool should win it, Chelsea second place, Man City third, and Tottenham Hotspur, he's leaving the likes of Arsenal, he's leaving the likes of United to be in top four. But then Josiah is also saying that probably Man City or United should carry the day, and then Liverpool follows, and then it goes on and on. The Arsenal man, that is Nicholas Forsin, has Arsenal pinch on fourth. Yeah, but then he thinks that Man City can carry the day again. Then Liverpool, probably Manchester United in third place, and Arsenal.
No, I said Manchester City.
Manchester City
Liverpool
first.
are going up.
No, Liverpool out of the top four. Yeah, Liverpool out of the top four. That is going to be surprising, looking at how Klopp will set up his team. But then, yeah, you heard it from us all. Have such a wonderful day with you guys. But then, don't forget to subscribe to Basel GH on YouTube and also on our social media platform. Make sure you go follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram as well. It's Basel GH. For myself, Derek Ayim, I say enjoy the rest of your day.